Hello, we're live. Brand new haircut. Can you see? I got the big chop. It's me. It really is me. I'm not trying to fool anyone. We didn't swap out my my clone or my secret twin. I promised you. It really is me. We just got the quarantine shave straight off. I think it was about time though. My hair was a bit long. A bit too long. I was always doing this in the stream, like trying to fix it all the time. It was kind of annoying. So that's my big reveal for today. Right, goodbye. Stream over. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm just going to quickly edit the thumbnail today. I counted how many survival horror streams we've done in today. Let me double check, but I believe today is the 61st survival horror crate stream. Let me see. No, that's the 60th. The 60th today. So I can only imagine we've done like over 100 streams by now. Okay, so I'll just update this data first. Da-na-na. Dreams. Okay, I think that's it. Saving. Perfect. Right, I'll just get the chat up now. Excuse me. Just give me a moment. So many screens that I need to navigate here. Okay, there we go. Load YouTube. The suspense is killing me. Hello, how schmoomin'? You were first today. You were so desperate for it, weren't you? Nice cut. Who is this? Where's LB? It's gone, man. We're changed. I'm actually his secret clone. Little did you know that you never really saw him holding the controller. You only saw him on the screen. I was the one that was always creating this game. Like, I was over here on the side, and he was just the face, but sadly he's not here anymore, so I'm going to have to take over. Hey Alpha, nice to see you again. Hello Dreamy McSteamy. Hello. Hope you're doing well. The 60th, yep, the 60th survival horror stream. Can we get to 100? Depends. Because I do think in November, once it gets to crunch time, I'm going to be streaming quite a lot to try and get this game finished. Hey Cugsley, nice to see you again. Hey Ashley Hannigan, it's good to see you again. Hi, remember that dream last time with the spider and the song called An Unexpected Guest? That is one of my new favourite songs. I knew it would get stuck in everyone's head. I predicted it. I knew it was going to happen. It is a pretty good song. I do want to do one with John Jerry Steve one day. Get him his own little track. But since I'm not very musically talented, it might take me a bit longer. So today we're going to go back and do what we're originally doing. We're going to do like the walls, the floors, add camera angles. We're going to go back to the hospital and probably start in the cafeteria, the kitchen. Maybe even the office conference room. This was the part of the game where we started to already use some assets like the conference room. I just noticed the floors are all done really. So I'm just going to focus mostly on the camera angles, at least get it done and get it in a polished state so I can send them all to Intra and then he can do the lighting. We don't have that many more scenes to go if we think about it. Before I do that, I'll quickly show you what I've did with the progress on the inventory. So now you can't actually see all of the files until you actually collect them. So as you go down, you can see it's all blackened out. So that's how it's going to be until you actually find the document itself. And I'll give you a quick example. So if you find a document, so let's say that's like file 4, right? So that the game now thinks we've found the 4th file. So there you go, the 4th file, the nurse's diary appears. So not only is it not black anymore, but you can actually see the name of the file as well. All that's left for me to do is basically press X to open it and read it, and then return back to the main to the inventory. That's what I'm going to do next. I also need to do the same idea for all the trophies as well. So there's a lot of trophies, so it's going to take me a little bit of faffing about, but it'll be kind of like this. This will be like the story trophies, they'll be all blanked out. Whereas the challenge trophies won't be. I'll keep those because obviously you need to know what you need to do to get the trophy. So there's no real secret trophies here. The only thing I'll black out is the trophy itself. So you can't actually see it until you get the trophy. So that's what I'm going to work on off stream this week. Get the trophy side of things done, and then I'm going to start the maps. I'm going to do at least the demo map, get that all sorted, and then after that I can go back to the character. I can start redoing the graphics on the character, do some of the final animations, and then all I need to do is I've already got the animation for picking up ammo. I just need to replicate that for picking up a key and implementing all of the documents in the scenes. And last but not least, the combat. So that's kind of where we are with the inventory. I can probably get the inventory finished this week, at least as much as we need for the demo. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to graphically upgrade the character. I don't really want to do too much. I just want to change the face, and I need to make her hands a bit more detailed. Maybe shrink them a little bit, and I don't know, some people said she was too thick. I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally, but if you want her to be a little bit skinnier on the legs, I could maybe do that as well. So most of the clothes and things like that will stay the same. I'm going to change her shoes, make her feet a bit bigger, a bit longer. So just a few little tweaks here and there, but it's mostly the face that I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to try and animate her. So I'm going to try and make her mouth open. I'm going to be able to do some expressions on the face. So I'm going to have to put some muscles into the cheeks. Same with the eyebrows. I need to be able to move the forehead. I need as much expression as possible. So I think that's all we really need. We need the mouth, the cheeks. It's kind of like the forehead, eyebrows. And obviously we'll move the eyes as well. So as long as I can get a rough kind of shape moving, I think it will be good. In gameplay terms, you're only really going to see her move her face when she aims or when she takes damage. So it's like, you know. Other than that, it's mostly going to be used for the cutscenes. But since I haven't started the cutscenes yet, I'll properly go over the face and the facial animations when it comes to the cutscenes. So right now we're just focusing on the more simplistic side of it because we're just dealing with the gameplay and stuff like that. It's quite funny. You started streaming immediately after my last school class ended. Perfect timing then. So maybe I should just do that every week then. Jocks Jernick Salmon. Is that his stage name? I've got my first school day tomorrow. Wish me luck. Ooh, tomorrow. That's weird. Why are you starting on Friday? You know what? Let's ruin everyone's week. Let's just go back to school on Friday. That totally makes sense. Excuse me. I haven't joined your streams of the horror game. Could you give a brief summary of what has happened so far? Basically, we've done the level design, the basic level design for the entire game. There's going to be 2 characters. This is like a template for one. I still need to update her. But basically, she can aim, she can fire, she can use a knife. This is the inventory system that I was working on. And I've recently been going back over the levels that we've made to update the graphics, add in camera angles, add places to find ammo, health, documents that you can read. And then eventually I'm going to add some enemies. So basically the game's split into like 3 main sections. You've got the streets, then you've got a hospital, and then you've got an underground lab. And all of these areas are kind of destroyed. It's a zombie apocalypse. There's lots of monsters roaming around, and you can choose 2 characters. So this is the first character. Second character is a guy. This is Lisa, and the guy is Jason. They both have their own independent story, so you can play the game twice, once with each character. It'll feel like a brand new experience. And then we'll have trophies that you can unlock. There's also going to be separate unlockables as well, like new costumes, unlimited ammo, secret John, Jerry, Steve unlockables as well. I was thinking about making a comic book, so if you collect all the figures in Lisa's campaign, you get like a certain issue, and if you find them all with Jason, you get another issue. So if I've got time, I might make a quick little comic book, because I was thinking I was going to make like an episode, but I think animating it would probably take me too long. So I think I'll make 2 comic book issues, and that'll be like an extra bonus. So there's a lot to this game, maybe too ambitious, but it's the type of game I want to make, so that's how we're going to roll with it. So it's coming together quite nicely. I say some of the environments are still needing a lot of work, but you know, we're getting there. So for example, like the job center interview room, it just kind of gets the job done right now. The computer room, we still need to finish this one. But we had some that we kind of finished, like the bathroom, and some of these don't look so good because the lighting. When you're in the actual scene itself, they'll look a lot better. It's weird. See, I don't know why sometimes the scenes reorder themselves. This is like in the hospital grounds. Here's the cafeteria. I think we're going to start working on this today. Then there's a kitchen. There's a conference room. So we kind of already done the conference room. We just had to, excuse me, put in some more walls. That one's kind of done. So I think we'll start with the cafeteria, and we'll do what we were doing before, with the walls and the floors and the camera angles, all that good stuff. As always, I'll have to delete some things that we don't need anymore. I'll need to do like a big sweep, make sure we didn't miss anything. These were the old jukeboxes that we don't use anymore, because apparently the music I'm playing right now kind of works. I'm just getting rid of all this stuff here. There's John, Jerry, Steve. He's going to get his own comic book. You have to collect, I don't know how many, maybe like 20 of these little figures. And if you find them all, you'll unlock a comic book about him, about his life. And his leg. You know, don't forget his leg. Okay. So this was the cafeteria that we made quite a while ago now. I remember we got sidetracked because we were talking about food, and we put like massive baked beans, Heinz baked beans, just lying on a table. Clearly they've been mutated by the zombie infection. Hold on, let me just catch up here. Online, hybrid, or all in person? Oh, what is a hybrid class? That's an interesting way of describing it. All in person. Better get your mask on. Better not touch anyone. Did you sculpt that, LB? What did I sculpt? Lisa? With Lisa, it was more like Frankensteining. I basically got a puppet that already had anatomy. Not the media molecule one. It was a proper one, had a proper head and everything. And then I basically just tried to find like a character with a face. I tried to find some hair, some clothes. Then I just coloured the skin, put the shoes on, you know, the clothes, all that kind of stuff. And then I got like a template made. So now all I need to do is rearrange the face. But I need to make them as separate sculpts because I want things to move, right? You know, like, so I need to make sure that I have something that kind of overlaps the face, and it's like if she moves her cheeks up like that, you know, like she's kind of squinting, I need to move the forehead down and the cheeks up like that, you know, so when she aims, she might aim like that, you know, or like that. So I need to make sure I can move things around, and most sculpts don't have that, so you need to kind of plan that out in advance. Her face is disgusting. How dare you? That's Miranda you're talking about. I didn't put the makeup on her. That's honestly the makeup she already has when you find her in the Dreamiverse. So all I need to do is repaint the face, you know. But it's Miranda. She's hot. Come on. She just had a bad makeup day. I honestly don't know why I'm starting on Friday. It just seems weird. It's like, hey, you're back. Now you're off again for the weekend. But I don't think she's too thick. Looks better than the puppets. Yeah, it's just some people said that she was not very proportionate. But I think it was mainly because I guess when you see game characters, normally they are quite proportionate. So that if they're thin on the top, they're thin on the bottom. There's no real difference. So if I make her a little bit thicker on the bottom, it's not so normal, but it's a normal person in real life. Maybe not a gaming character, but I think she looks quite good. But we'll see. Surely we'll get a lot of feedback once the demo comes out. The public demo is in 3 weeks, so I'm just going to have to do my best to finish that up whilst getting more areas done here, so that the full game isn't too far behind. But it's cool because after my first day back, I have 2 days to relax. It's like easing into it. Yeah, that's it. But it's weird. Thick. I'm really surprised how nobody else has made a scene out of microchips. You are a revolutionary. That's why. Strange how I was the first to do it. Well, you came up with the crinkly concept. I'm sure you were the first for a reason. I wanted to make a text adventure RPG hybrid, but I'm not going to do it. Oh, why not? I'm sure you've got. Is that the template that you showed me about the orphans? I'm going to start a Crash Bandicoot fan game on Dreams, and I'll post up concept art and updates on Twitter. My name is Green Hot Flame 1. That's cool. I usually use Twitter to find people's stuff, so no doubt I'll come across it at some point. Also, I'm still waiting for that jazz punk OST. Well, you know, it has to be themed, unfortunately. Keep dreaming. Maybe one day. The masks aren't actually mandatory, which is really... Yeah, that's not good. Why would they even give you the option if it's not mandatory? Because unless everybody's wearing masks, what's the point? You know, it just defeats the whole purpose. Then some people will be like, yeah, but he's wearing a mask, but she's not wearing a mask, so why do I need to wear a mask? And so on and so forth. It ain't ideal, unfortunately. Right, let's look for a good little floor. As always, there's going to be multiple options for a floor. It just depends where you are, right? Because I've seen some hospital cafeteria floors that are pretty plain, and then I've got other ones that are more designed. So I'm going to put in hospital, cafeteria, and I mean, it is a pretty simple floor. It does have some lines on the floor, which I could do. I always find these kind of floors really intimidating. It's like they're clean, but there's something really ugly about them. So we've got a choice. We can either simply just mess around with like the, you know, the colours, or we can actually put in a proper floor. You know, we've got a few different options that we can do. So as long as it looks clean, I think that's the most important thing, right? A waxy floor. Do you think the floor got waxed recently? I mean, I'm just trying to look at it, because like from a distance, it would look like this. I mean, they definitely clean it, so if it's been waxed, maybe that would look good. But again, I'm going to have to properly give this a good look over. So that's if we just want a plain, clean floor. There's obviously tiles we can use. Hold on. Got my asset collection in here. If I can find it.
Okay. Sit over.
Right, we'll see if we can find something. Oh, what is this? Creation not yet available. Oh. Someone made their creation private. That was probably the best creation collection that we had. Now it's gone forever. It's probably like doors and things, I think that, or maybe it was walls. Who knows? Well, let's just look, see what we've got. Again, you could use like a basic tile. I kind of want it to be that kind of ceramic kind of texture, but I'd like if I see if I recolored this. I wonder if it would look good. Let me see. Obviously, I wouldn't really use this, but let's see. It's got like cracks in it. Maybe it looks a bit more interesting. You know? I could try and make it more. Let me see. Not super white, but give it a little bit of texture. Maybe it looks interesting. Let's have a look. Right, we won't know unless we actually test it. It's so wonky though. Look, look. You press triangle to put it on the grid, and it's not even on the grid. I think the person that made this destroyed it. Oh man, that's not good. I don't even know how you fix this. No idea. Because normally you just press triangle and it goes onto the grid. Can I reset grid? No. I don't know how to use this. I'm just going to have to like default this. And try and get it to work the best I can. Right, just give me a minute, right? This is brutal, man. Right, let's DIY this, right? If anyone knows how to realign this on the grid, let me know, because for me it just ain't working. Right, I mean it's not ideal, but hold on, let me just turn it here a little bit. I think we can get away with that. I think it looks kinda straight. Not perfect, but think we can get away with it. Let's see, I'll put it up against the wall and we'll see how it looks. So we don't even know if we're going to use this yet, so we'll make like a mock of it first. Just need to move this down a wee bit, just in case we use it again. Okay. Let's just have a look and see. Right. Nah, it's too messed up because look, it doesn't even follow the grid. Let's see. Nah, I don't think this is not. It's kind of difficult. See, it was a good little material, but sadly, the grid kind of ruined it. Oh well. Dirty tiles. Can we use some dirty tiles and then make them not dirty? Don't know. This is the hospital. We need to have slightly cleaner tiles, don't we? Back when I was in school, we'd always start on Wednesday or Thursday, right before a 3-day weekend. Never understood why. They just wanted to torture you. They're like, you thought you were getting a good holiday? Well, think again. You're coming in first. And yes, that template was for the hybrid game. Figured I'm not going to be able to get decent with visual design, but I'm a good writer. Yeah, it's a good way to use your skills without forcing yourself too much. I hate suggesting this, but the new VR Sculpts pack has some really good looking floors. You hate suggesting it? Well, if it's got good floors, we can try. They have marble, concrete, and planks, and they look really What? They look like eggs. Good looking floors are always important, even if they are from a VR pack. I suppose it doesn't matter that they're from VR, you know, as long as they're good, you know, that's all that matters, isn't it? How do we find this VR pack? I don't even know how we would find it, to be honest. Let's see. Collections. They're really not making it easy to find. I mean, I put VR in, nothing comes up. Do you know the exact name of what it's called? I think it's in Quick Start. Okay. Let's have a look. Inside Sculptures. Dreamiverse, Ancient Times. Inside the Box, that's what it's called. So it's not called VR, it's called Inside the Box. Because technically, you don't need to have VR, right? Oh, look at some nice little things that look like paintings. Some really weird sculpt. Death. Yeah, that's lovely. It doesn't really seem like a VR pack, because, I mean, what does any of this have to do with VR? You know, it's just shapes. Alright, so that looks quite cool, but obviously not for what we need. A cracked slate, tiled slate. A dark slate. Okay. A large cracked slate. Just having a wee look. Red floor tiles. Stone tiles. Good for outside. These ones look quite nice. Vents. Ever need a vent? It's quite funny though, because these shapes are not that difficult to make, but I guess it's appreciated all the same. So here's a smooth concrete block, a rough concrete block, a thick concrete step. Looks very thick, doesn't it? Modern marble stairs. Oh, look at that. Construction. Right, some of these things are weird, by the way. Like, what are these? Subtle surfaces. That ain't subtle. Right, so this is a marble floor. Could try that one. Smooth concrete as well. Could be good. Tile concrete. Could use this one as well. See, we've got options here. And textured concrete. It's a lot to choose from, isn't there? Let's try bringing out a few of these. Because knowing Media Molecule, they've probably made a lot on different sides. Yep. So we get multiple different colours. I don't know what's on the bottom. Very shiny. So we've got a lot of options here. Just using the one cube. This is actually good design practice when you're making a floor. Try and make several different floors. Gives people options. Maybe a tiled one, because that could look good too. Especially the different colours, because we technically don't need to make the floor all the one colour. We could mix it up a little bit, just to give it a bit of a pattern. I'm probably leaning more towards the patterned one. And what was the other one? Just to see what this looked like. Okay. That's all quite cool. You could probably use these for walls as well, couldn't you? Like some colourful walls. I'll try this one first. There's obviously a few sides we can choose from. I think I'm going to go more plain, so maybe something like that. There's a darker one here. Or do we go more fun with a little bit of colour? I'll try the plain one first. We'll see how it looks. I'll go for this one since it's more subtle. Because I think the hospital floors are a bit more subtle. So let's try this one and see how we get on. Hold on, I need to reset that. Okay. So I think I said I was going to try... Yeah, I was going to try this one. So let's see how this looks, right? Right in the corner. Come here, puppety trinket. So we could make big tiles, we could make small tiles. I think that's a good way to create variety. So you could technically use the same tiles in two separate rooms, but then make one of the tiles quite big and then some of the other tiles quite small. That way it makes them look a bit different. So that's if we make it that size, right? Let me do it like that. And then I'll make another one. And I'll make it a little bit smaller. And we'll compare, see what one we like the best. Okay. So I'll just copy this again. Okay. So there's your two ideas. The benefit of the big one is that it's not so repetitive on the eyes, because if you've got lots of little squares, for me it gets a bit repetitive looking at. Like if we kept doing that for the whole room, it's maybe a bit too much to look at. So maybe the big ones will be fine. Oh, trust me, those shapes are hard to make. Oh really? You think so? I don't think they're as hard as you think, but it does take a little bit of practice, a little bit of faffing around to make sure you get everything working properly. Because I made a stool and it took me like 2 hours because I was trying to figure out how do I even use the tools in the first place. But once I got used to it, oh my god. See, that's the bad thing about the motion controls. It's like you think everything's going well, but then as soon as you let go of the copy button, your controller moves. See what I mean? It moves like slightly, and it means it completely ruins everything. Right. I think that could work for the floor. I think it looks quite good. I think you can even customize each square as well, so we don't really need to use the other sides. We could just make our own colours if we wanted. But let's keep it like that for just now, because the way I'm doing it is I'm just putting floors and walls in to get a rough idea. Once Intra Attack Out puts his lighting in, we'll be able to see how the light works with the environment. Then we can obviously decide if we need to make things lighter or darker, that kind of thing. But I'm quite confident this one. The hell was that? Sounded like someone smashed something. Right, hold on. I think that's lined up. Right, I just had to like let the controller go before it moved. I think that looks good, like from a distance. It looks quite good. Once the proper lighting's in the scene, we'll be able to obviously get a darker image. But I think that looks okay. I think it fits quite well. Good shout, House Schmoomin. You found a very good floor for us today. Extra brownie points for you. That's quite good. So that, we can probably like that was one of the things I was actually saying to Scheme not long ago. I was saying that a lot of walls, they don't have texture, so it's like if I just change like the colour of this, for example, right, to make a white wall, the texture's not good, and I'm like, how do I make it like a subtle texture on the wall? But now that have made these concrete walls, I could just put the concrete in, because they have texture on them, which is quite good. They've released, at least that's something positive that came from the VR update, even if it's technically not really VR central. It kind of looks like a carpet. What looks like a carpet? The white and blue checkers could be good for a hospital or a cafeteria. Could be, because I saw a lot of different pictures. There were some that were more plain. Then there were some that were slightly more colourful. But I'm looking at most of them are kind of like this kind of faded kind of colour. That doesn't mean that I can't add some colour. You know, like I could change some titles, like for example, like every so often you might find some tiles that have colour, like maybe some here, you know, like a pattern. But right now I don't think it's so essential. I'm liking how it looks so far. You prefer the bigger one? Yeah, I thought so. I could read your mind. Why the hell is my phone doing the glare and my autocorrects? See, you've cursed yourself. You're stuck with it forever now. Is the fire cat okay? The fire cat meow twice if you're in danger. Did you hear him on stream? I didn't hear him. I think he's okay. I think he's just sleeping. Nice brownie points for me. Eye seams. What does that even mean? Right, let's try again. Nice brownie points for me. Amazing. After 4 attempts, you finally got it right. How on earth are those chairs standing up? Because they're magical. They're in the magical world of the chairs. This is how you do grid chairs. See, the chairs were lined up because the floor was like down there before. But obviously now we have to readjust because the floor is slightly above where it was supposed to be. But there is indeed a support. It does exist, I can assure you. So I just need to like fix them all now. Make them... There you go, you happy now? How schmoomin'? You got your wish? There you go, perfect. That's what we'll do, we'll just spend the whole day just fixing chairs, just to appease you. How? There you go. See, originally the hospital wanted to blend the chairs in with the floor because they didn't want thieves stealing them, so they thought, let's just put it in with the concrete. That way our chairs remain secure. Obviously I don't need to do it with these ones, but you know. These ones are easier because they don't have a bit across the floor, they just go down, so you could literally just like sink them into the floor and you would never know how big or small these chairs were. But yeah, it's looking good, very very good. So I'll just keep extending the floor really, if everyone's happy with how it looks so far. And then we can try and put the concrete on the walls. See if they do in fact look quite good. Right, so I'll just finish off this. Oh, there's too many objects. Right, I'm going to have to fix that first. Look at that gameplay thermal. Clearly, Media Molecule, your blocks have not been optimised. Right, let's take away the beams, even though the beams didn't do anything. It was literally 1%. Right, I'm going to have to optimise these because clearly they're not so good. Let me see if I copy. How many do I need to copy before it starts to get a bit crazy? Yeah, look, I can create a few more, but yeah, it's not ideal. I think I'm going to have to either optimize these. I don't know how I would do it. I'd probably need scheme costs to help me, or I just make the blocks even bigger. Like just for now, just so we don't have as many copies. I think that's what I might do. So until Scheme can help me optimize, I think we'll just make bigger blocks. Saves me having to scratch my head on this one. See, that's the thing, you think you can copy things so many times, but unfortunately when you make blocks like this, they're not so great for optimization. If the room was a bit smaller, I probably could get away with it, but it's not, so. Right now, I'm going to keep the size of the room. I could make it a bit smaller, I could bring this in a little bit. It's just because I was trying to figure out the size of the building, and that's kind of what I pictured for the the general size of the building, so like the corridor itself will be quite long. But oh well. Nothing a quick fix can't solve. If any of you guys are quite good at optimization as a scheme, then if you get any ideas on how I could optimize this without doing too much work. See, there we go, we already optimized it by deleting them. We've got a lot of thermal back. I don't know if I could... Like, we've got a block here, right? If I was to delete most of it, do you think that would optimize it? Do you think that would work? Do you know, like, if I did something like that to delete the parts that we don't need, would that work? Because look at that, it goes away up to 94. What's going on here? I don't even know if this would work. Like if I was just to keep deleting all that, the other sides, maybe it would work. Maybe, just maybe. But until then, let's just make massive, massive blocks. Right, let's just get ahead of this thing, right? Okay. It's not ideal, but I think it still gets the job done. Right, so maybe that's a bit better. I might need to make them a little bit bigger. We'll see, because I didn't actually count how many we could copy before it went crazy. I'm just making sure the noise wasn't the fire cat smashing someone. Alright, the smashing noise. Oh, I hope the fire cat didn't break something. I'm gonna kill him. Oh, shouldn't have said that. Now you know my plan all along. Hey that one gamer, welcome back. I think you're late today. And unfortunately, you know what that means. You're getting the John Jerry Steve leg treatment. Fear the leg. The leg has now become part of your soul. You're intertwined with the veins. Enjoy. I think, hope to see Joe, because he's owed at least 2 legs by now. That's what I was thinking at first. I thought it was mixed in with the concrete. Makes sense now to me. Good. Been playing Street Fighter 5 all day. I've got 9 trophies so far. That's far more than I expected to get. It seems to be quite generous, isn't it? It's quite good because it's a game that I like Street Fighter. It's just not a game that I would really buy, because I know I would probably play it for like a couple of days and then get bored. So that's something I would like on PlayStation Plus. Games that I probably would like, but maybe not play all the time. There's loud booming noises echoing through the sky, and I'm quite confuzzled on what the hell is going on. I think you might be getting invaded by aliens. It sounds like fireworks, but it's only happening every 10 seconds. 10 seconds on the dot. Yeah, I think that's aliens. They're coming for you. Robbie and his mad aliens. Smart thinking, Mr. Animation. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's the leg out of the way, right? Joe up. Let's see. Does she take up much thermal? Just 1%, not much. Just get rid of her. We don't need her anymore. Right. Let's test this, right? Because I don't want the floor crippling us, right? We can still delete this floor technically. We don't really need this floor anymore. If we do indeed change it up. But it's not really giving us much gameplay relief, is it? It's giving us like nothing. It's just the graphics, so it doesn't matter. Right, let's test this, right? Let's see if we can do it. Is it going to be possible? Because we don't normally have these problems, but damn me, the molecule when they're... Ha! They're highly unoptimized sculpts. Right, I'm just trying to copy this and let go of the R2 button, right? But when I let go of the R2 button, everything moves away. Right. It's a bit bigger, right? So we probably saved like an extra row. It looks massive, but again, we can probably retexture these. So if you look at the two different colours, I could probably change this colour to make it not blend, but you can notice it's a different colour, but it's not as obvious. That way it doesn't look like, oh, it's big massive blocks. If I change the colour slightly, it's not as easy to recognise. For example, let me see, is this easy to do? So like, you know, like something like that, that it's like, it's clearly two different colours, but they're not as noticeable. I won't change it just yet, it's just if we feel like it looks a bit strange, then I will. Plus, with the lighting as well, we don't know how this is going to look. And we can also put like some stains on the floor as well. Like blood or food. That's another way we could disguise some of it as well. Like, hold on, I just need to get a bit closer here so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Right, let's just copy this to the max here. Right, is that good? Are we good? Right, see, we copied it and we had lots to spare, so sometimes you just gotta make that sacrifice, you know. And if it does get a bit too obvious that the squares are a little bit too big, we can always, like I said, we can always change the colour slightly on one of the blocks, and then it won't look quite as bad. I still think it looks okay. Obviously, ideally, I would have liked slightly smaller blocks, but considering the circumstances, we'll make it work. Because if we're going to use those same textures on the walls as well, we need to have, obviously we need to have some extra space to do that. So we've got some smooth concrete and textured concrete. What one do we use? I don't know. Rough concrete. It's almost as rough as John Jerry Steve's leg. You know, I could probably, you know, when we put down the floor and the mechanics area outside, we could probably, the gravel, we could probably reuse this one for the gravel outside, because it's like mud, gravel, and the little balls on top that I had to delete, they're not so distracting this time around. So I probably could use those. You could probably use that for asbestos as well, you know. Get a good old-fashioned asbestos wall. Did anyone have those? Because I'm from the UK, so my bedroom... Hold on. If you looked at the ceiling on my bedroom, it looked like this. Not as many of these, but it did have these. If you looked on the ceiling, it wasn't smooth. It was all like little bits. Because my house was built. It wasn't like an old house, but it was built in, I guess, the 80s. So they used to make ceilings like this, you know, full of asbestos and God knows what else. It wasn't so smooth as it is today. That's my feeling about Street Fighter as well. Glad it is free. Yeah, it's the same with when they gave the first Injustice game on PS4. It's not something I was going to buy, but I appreciate it. So for me, that's the perfect PlayStation Plus game. Something that I like, but I wouldn't quite buy, so I feel like PlayStation Plus covers you there. Hey Beth, nice to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Are you making anything interesting in Dreams? Any more sceneries? Should have grouped all the tiles together so you can easily move the floor. Now you have to grab every single tile at a time. It's done, man, it's done. I'm happy with the floor, right? We're going to live with it. So there you go. Right, what was I doing? Getting the walls in. Right. Don't even know what this is. Yeah, that was kind of like my ceiling as well. You know, kind of bumpy. I don't know if it was a technique. Right, I don't know if I'm going to use a textured concrete or if I'm going to use a smooth one. I'm guessing I would use a smooth one. That's my instinct. But maybe you want to see the textures a bit more. Yeah, it's probably a bit too much. Yeah, so we're probably going to use the white, right? It's a hospital, right? We have to use the white. So the good thing is, since it's a wall, we could probably get away with using like a big block. So, I mean, it depends on the textures, because if the textures are they're too apparent, aren't they? I feel like they're a bit scaly. I don't know if you noticed that, but maybe I can change some settings here, maybe. Because I think this is like painted on, so I don't know if I can do much about it. I can smooth it out a little bit with the tint, which is quite good. Because for me, that is a bit much, you know, like I like texture, but not that much texture. There's no point in me making it a full one, because then I could have made that myself. Let me see, let me take off the grid so I can see it properly. So I just want to give it a wee bit of texture. Not a lot. Let's put it to 50%, right? So looking at it from a distance, because the camera angle is going to be like here. Probably increase it a little bit. Not so much that it disappears, just... Let's put it to 100, right? Maybe that looks okay. We'll see. Once the lighting goes in, we'll see what it looks like. If it's too distracting or too ugly or whatever, we can obviously redo it. Alright, so let's just make sure that's lined up properly. Okay, there you go. So it looks alright. Obviously we don't, that's the thing when you're using a cube. On the inside it looks fine, but on the outside you get these big massive cubes all over the place. So I probably don't need to use too many of these. Just to make sure I get this lined up properly. It's kind of funny though. It's got a big line. Hold on, let me see. Could have sworn that I'd lined this up perfectly. Right, let me see if I can do this. It's weird because they kind of have lines on them, which is very strange because this is like you don't see the line much, but then when I move it, because I'm putting it exactly where it is on the grid, so I don't know, it just seems a bit weird that it's not lining up properly. Don't you think that's weird? It's not so ideal. I don't like creases, right? Unless I made like one giant ass wall to solve the problem. Because I mean, nobody wants that line. That line is horrible. I don't know why it's going off grid. Is there something I'm missing here? Because they should be perfect and they're not. They're like slightly off. And I don't know why. Is it just my eyesight? Or am I... What? I don't like the creases. They're horrible. Very, very horrible. Like, even if I just moved them slightly, like, would it fix it? Even then, I don't think it would. I think we're just going to have to live with it. I think Scheme came up with a method to remove the crease, because he knows what he's doing when it comes to this kind of stuff. For me, I don't. I could just make one giant one. That's my only other alternative. That way I don't have to worry about the crease for now, but then I've got a big massive block, which is very strange. But, you know. And it kind of ruins the textures a little bit, because when you stretch them so much, doesn't look as good, but let's just roll with it for now. Until we get a better solution, let's just go with it. Alright. So here we go. Big massive cubes to the rescue. I don't really want to go all the way around, but here we go. It's extremely messy. At least that's okay. I feel sorry for the guy that put the tiles in here, because he has to custom cut these tiles so they would fit perfectly. Or maybe not, maybe I'll bring this in a bit. Let's fix it, let's do the contractor a favour here. Right. These walls don't need to be perfect, but... Right, there we go. I solved the contractor's problem. His tiles now fit a bit better. So far it looks alright. The walls look a bit like a prison, to be honest. You know, like a prison cafeteria. But we will put some colour in. So I'll put like some lines across the wall. Kind of like what we did in the market, in the shop, store. We did like some lines that went around. So I'll probably do stuff like that. Some promotional stuff on the walls. And I think it will come together quite nicely. Oh look, there's a wee hidden cube here. That was the backup cube, just in case we needed. What was this one? The marble floor. Oh, okay, that was the default one, wasn't it? I feel like I'm making... If anyone ever played Control, I feel like I'm making an environment from Control, because Control had like these areas that were like, the walls were like huge, because you could fly all the way up. So it feels like I'm making a game from Control. So let's just say roughly this is how the size of the environment, give or take. Okay. Let's get rid of that dark part there. Okay. I still don't even know if I'm going to put a door on this other side, because you're not actually going to get through this door. It was more for continuity, just to sort of say, like, if this was a real hospital, it probably wouldn't just have one entrance and exit. Probably would have a couple. So I put an extra one in just in case. Let's fix this. Right. I think we need to stretch the floor out a little bit more, actually. Let's see. Yeah. So if I bring this in a bit, it goes a bit too much, I think. Ah, screw it. We'll do it like that. And then I'll just move these in a bit. Okay, so we've got a huge room. It's very intimidating, but it's a good job this is not a first person game. You're not going to be able to see that. It's all going to be very calculated, but I do like it. The walls, I just need to put some colour in so it doesn't, because it does, for me this looks like a prison cafeteria. The baked beans gave it away already, but it does look like a very bland kind of cafeteria. I think hospitals are quite bland, to be honest. However, I don't think they need to be this bland. You know, I think we can give them a little bit of a break. I could probably bring this wall in a little bit as well. I just created a little bit of extra space down the sides. You know, just in case. You know, fire hazards and all that, right? You need space for people to run. Okay, so it looks alright so far. At least I've got a foothold on what the floor and the walls kind of look like now. My walls and ceilings are quite smooth. Yeah, generally you would like them to be quite smooth. You're quite lucky then. Maybe your house is quite new, or it's been redone, because my house was kind of old school methods. I'm doing good. I'm working with Alex Eris on RemkeCon. What is RemkeCon? And I'm polishing my realistic skills. Hope I get as good as Bad Robo. That's a good challenge. I don't know if Bad Robo does everything realistic on his own, because he did use some assets from other creators, but he's really good at lighting. That's one of the most important things. You can make a bland scene like this look really good with really good lighting. It really can change. Careful of the gameplay thermal. Yeah. There probably won't be any zombies in this area, this cafeteria, so I think it's safe to say we don't need a huge amount of gameplay. Just enough to get the character in, and any other items you pick up. But other than that, I think this scene's okay. That's why I'm trying to, like, any big scenes like this that's got a lot of things going on, they probably won't have enemies, because it would create a massive headache for me. I need to compromise, either make a good environment or make a good combat arena. The fire cat, you can hear the fire cat? I can't hear the fire cat. I think you're hearing things. I think he's stuck in your head. Maybe mirror it so it connects exactly the same. I mean, that could be a solution, I guess. I mean, I've went big blocky solution, which works. The bigger it gets, the crappier it looks. For me, it looks okay. Like on my screen, like it looks alright. I mean, you're right though. Like like I said, putting it bigger, it obviously wouldn't look as good. But I think the walls are quite clean anyway, so like if I was to go back in and see John Jerry Steve there hiding behind that wall, if I was to remove the tint, we would see the original texturing. I'm happy with the way it looks. Like, it's not super textured, it's just textured enough that you can kinda see it, which is what I wanted. You need to put one next to the other and have one of them mirrored so it ends exactly how the other one started. That way you don't get weird creases because it matches up. Seems strange though, because technically everything should kinda line up on its own anyway. Hey Dean, welcome to the stream. Nice mustache, thank you. It's part of the quarantine collection actually. You know, I've got the little bit of the beard, the mustache. My hair was actually like almost like an afro, but I got it quickly chopped. I hear Silent Hill music. Yep. We usually alternate between Silent Hill and Resident Evil tracks. So just to add a little bit to the background of the stream, I guess. So until I come back and actually decide what I'm going to do with the colours here, I might just start doing the camera angles. I'm just having a quick reference at some other hospital cafeterias. Now what we could do is we could make this more colourful. It's not impossible. Like there's a wall here that has some colourful parts. Like it's like a kind of like a light green and an orange colour over the top of each other. There's also another one that has more of a cream wall rather than a white wall. Then it has like pictures of food, but I don't know if there's any pictures of food we could use. Let me see if we can find like a food portrait maybe. If it wants to load though. Uh-oh. Right, so there's no food portraits. That is not good. Obviously I don't want to shove food on the wall, right, but it would have been good if someone had some, maybe portrait didn't work, maybe painting works. No. We've got a massive thing here though. Nah, I don't think there's too many people made things. There you go, there's another thing. Anyone that likes to paint in Dreams, you could make some food portraits. But you know, like the ones you would see on the wall in a restaurant, so it's kind of like a rectangle canvas, and then it's got like a zoomed in, you know, painting of food. Sometimes it's not painting, sometimes it's just a picture, but obviously we can't import pictures in here, so painting's the next best thing. Right, so that was the Silent Hill 2 OST. I'm going to just fire on the Silent Hill 3 one. Get some nostalgia here. I'll need to play around with the colours of the walls. I'll show you. I'll give you an idea. Hold on. Right, bear with me here, right? If we made one that was more orangey, I don't know if I would use this one though, because this texture's kind of crappy. It's kind of like an orange. So like one side is like a colour, and then the other side's a different one. Like we could do it like here, for example, right? Oh my god, what did I do? I think I've removed the whole thing. Right, hold on, let me scope out of this, right? Say we use this one, right? Let's just say we use that one, right? Hold on. I'll move this one out of the way. Because wait, you want to put the colour to draw people's attention, right? So maybe you want people to look towards the menu, right? So if this looks a bit colourful, you don't want to be looking at the rest of the walls, right? You want to be looking, oh, where do I buy the food? Oh, there's a big bright wall here. I'll come over here. Right, I'll get my food over here. So maybe we could do something like that. Maybe that would stand out a bit better. That's what I think anyway. So the colour is kind of orangey. Doesn't have to be orange. You know, we could change the colour, but I think the orange looks quite nice. Looks quite happy. You know. The other colour we could make it is kind of like a yellowy green. So it could be like that, like a lighting colour, but I think it's maybe a bit too bright for me. So I'm thinking maybe it could be like orange, but then I mean it doesn't need to be so happy, I guess, but we could make it more realistic. But I don't know. Maybe you want it to be like that, so that it is a little bit happier for people. And then I can probably put, there's like some bars that go around the walls as well. Just try to get some more examples. I still haven't decided if I'm going to put windows in as well, because I could probably put windows here. That way we can lose the extra wall. So we'll have windows and a light source coming from this side on this, and then it means we only need to worry about these two walls looking quite bland. But I could experiment and maybe try and make them a little. Hold on. Trying to make them a little more creamer. Let me see. Can I get away with this? Maybe not quite so much. Maybe like that. Maybe it looks better than the plain white wall. I don't know. It could work. It might look better than the white wall. That way it makes it a bit warmer, you know. I do like the white wall though. It's just, like I said, it looks more like a prison. So maybe if we use these kind of walls, it's a bit warmer. But again, once we get intros lighting in, we'll be able to see how everything looks. So if it's a darker scene, obviously the whiter wall is going to be a bit more obvious, whereas if you want to put more shade, more shadow in, you would probably use something more like this. So I might use this one for now because it's a bit warmer. And then if you imagine like there's going to be windows here, there's going to be like some kind of pillars here with some, we'll have some light radiating through. Not quite like this, but it's the same side, so we'll have like some light coming through. But I think Yeah, it could be good. Yeah, I'll need to sit down and look at some proper pictures and see if I can optimise how some of the things look. I love Heather's theme. Yeah. Silent Hill is probably got some of the best music in any game, I think. Any Bovaretta posters on the wall? Not for the cafeteria, God no. People are trying to eat, man. They don't want to be looking at her. Warm colours. Spudiments. What? Explain to me what that means. My English has not got to crinkly level yet. I'll wait for your auto correction. What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. This is exactly what I was saying. What does that even mean, man? Explain to me, please. Right, I'm moving all these just in case I change my mind, right? Because you never know, I might. So I'll just fire these back down again. We'll do this colour. This side I'll probably have to redo because I want to put in windows. So let me play around with this like blocky style, right? Let me just fire it in for now. Okay. So on this side there's going to be windows, right? So I was thinking, like, imagine there was like pillars. So imagine you had like there were gaps for the windows. Maybe not quite that much, but do you know what I mean? Like the wall kind of goes in a bit. I mean, it makes it a bit more dynamic, so it's not just like one big long wall. We've actually got bits like that, you know. So maybe I could do it like that. Like imagine that's where the windows are. Probably move this over a bit. Let's say we move these over, right? With the trays. With both the trays. Right, just for example, right? And then that looks a bit different at least. And then I can put the windows in. I still need to find really good windows. Because when I was looking at through my collection of windows that I found, I don't know, I wasn't really liking any of them for some reason. I feel like most of the windows were either exaggerated or they were too specific for a certain purpose. I'm wondering if that's what that collection was. Was that windows, maybe? Because I'm not actually seeing windows anymore. I think that's what this one probably was. It was probably windows. God damn it! I put all that effort in trying to find windows, and then God takes them away from me. Right, not Windows XP, that's not what we want. Right, a collection of windows. Let's see. This is a big collection. See, you've got like windows that are for like apartments, for houses. What about a hospital window, you know? Like, is that good enough? It's too old-fashioned, isn't it? Too white picket fence. Too much like a house. That's not really a window, but... See, some of these are alright. If you're making a house or a prison, they might actually look okay, but... I don't know. I might just have to make something myself. What I can do is, for now, I can probably just grab, you know, a window like this for now, just so we can get like a reference of where they're going to go. We could put the windows like that. I think that might look good as well. Let me see. So who knows how we're going to structure this. Like, do we make individual windows, or do we make like one big connected window? That's another way we could do it. I'm thinking maybe I'll do it that way. Right, so for now we'll just assume as a guide that's roughly where the windows are going to go. Obviously it's not finished. I'll need to do another draft, but if we can at least get something that's that kind of roughly does the job for now. I think I like that, the fact that it does have these little bits here, because then it feels like it's a bit different than just a big stupid wall that does nothing. So unless there's actually something on the wall, you know, like posters or whatever, then there's probably no need for me to do like a big blank wall. Like here I could even like put like some kind of pillar in like that as well. Like in the corner. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that looks a bit better. Slightly better. Yeah, I think it's looking a bit. It is looking a bit better. Then across the back wall, I'm probably going to put a lot more of these things. A lot more of these trays. Just to make up some of the space. So I'll put these on the back wall for now. I think one of the ideas I had was I was leaving the back wall empty because I was going to put like lots of supplies here. Like maybe people were collecting things like ammo and health and food and things and boxes, and this was just like a big trashy area. But I think I can probably decorate it with some of these first, and then I can put all those other things in front of them. So I'll just put a few of these here for now, just to add a little difference. But I'm definitely going to block this part with something, like this whole section here. So when you enter here, you can't go this way, you have to go either up this way or through this way. So I'll block all this off. God knows if I'm going to use this door, but let me move this back a bit. There we go. So it's looking a bit better. Then we can probably even decorate this wall even further. Like we could put some text up on the wall as well. I'm not going to use these as the menus, but I'll need to create like another thing for the menus. But if we could put some writing on the wall just to make the cafeteria look a bit more fun. Maybe there's like some pictures or a logo of a burger or something up here. So there's a few things we could do just to make it a bit more exciting, you know. Just because it's a hospital, it doesn't have to look like trash. Bovaretta is beautiful. She is, but I mean, you don't want to get those feelings when you're eating, you know. you might get a bit confused. Why would people not want to look at her? At that particular moment in time, of course. That's it. She's a sexy East Sussex. She's from East Sussex? Is that right? I didn't know that. I'm updating my DreamsCon booth. Alright. Yeah, I was wondering what would happen with DreamsCon. Like, if people would keep that running, or if it was like a one-time thing and then people moved on. I haven't touched mine at all. Probably won't. I was on like floor, was it 30? I think I was on floor 30, which seems high, but they linked you to like every 10 booths, so I'm on like the first booth of floor 30, which is cool. A way to think of it would be, this is where I'll have my last meal. What would you want your last place of eat to happen in the E? In the E what? In the ear hole? Right, so it's coming together quite well. Fine, we'll demonstrate Bovaretta if it makes you happy. God damn it. It's good because I can literally just type in Bovaretta. It's spelt wrong, isn't it? I'm in collections, hold on. Bovaretta. There's the game. Her wear Mad Mask. There you go. Would that make you feel better if I put some massive Bovaretta posters on the wall, eh? Can you imagine that though? She's everywhere. You can't escape her. God damn it. Let's put her face over the trash, right? I think that would be more fitting. Some of these are really creepy. Like that one looks like South Park, doesn't it? Is this Bovaretta before she puts her makeup on? And then afterwards, when she puts her makeup on, she's very, very beautiful. I think that's how it works. I'm gonna keep these exclusive for the child's pediatric area. I think it'll look pretty tasty there. Woo! I know she's too beautiful. Just a little tad too beautiful. Right, so I'll get some camera angles. And oh, the game froze. That's not good. My game froze. I can't move anything. The camera is stuck. Thank God for that. Right, in case that happens again, right, I'm just going to save this before it's too late. You can never be too careful. I love how the thumbnail was just the baked beans. Right, come on, let's save this. You're taking your sweet ass time. Right, let's not take any chances here. Bovaretta can only be described as tranquilant and tranquil. Enter the Ye Carumba. I have no idea what that meant, as always. Alright, so let's put some basic cameras down. Okay. So like I said, that bit's going to be blocked off, so I think if you're entering the cafeteria, I'll make it so that when you enter the cafeteria you know it's going to be a big area, right? So I'll maybe put it like, maybe the first camera when you enter, it's kind of like that. And you can see some of the leftovers on the plate. So we'll try and do it like, maybe over like that a little bit. So all that side's going to be blocked, so you kind of need to go up that way. Right, so let's put it like that for now, right? And then as you move forward, if you come through this way, see, it's a big area. The big areas are the hardest ones to do camera angles for, because you don't want to show off the entire scene. So once you come here, let's say we'll do up here first. We'll maybe make it like, see, this is a big space here. I'm probably going to have to put a few things here. I'll probably make it like that, right? So as you moved past that area, you come here, and then you can probably go two different ways. You can either go down that way, let's make it like this, right? You can either go down that way to get to there, or if you go in here, you can go in here as well. So maybe I'll make it more like that. I'm going to update all this food as well, because I mean, look at the state of that. So I'll make it a bit like that. If you come round this way. So if you go that way, I'll probably block this bit as well, like maybe not the entire row, but maybe like here. So if you go here, it doesn't really do anything. So you've got an option, you can go down this way. So if you go down this way, or if you came from here and you go here, there has to be another camera angle. So let me see. A lot of this is just going to be very experimental until I can figure out what the hell I'm doing. So we'll try that for now. And then if you get to the end here, this is all going to be blocked off. So, and most of this area, you're not even going to get through that door. So this area isn't that important. So I'll maybe make it obvious that you can go to the door, but you're not actually going to get through it. Let me see. Put it like that, so people can go to the door if they want. And then I'll do like a close-up, maybe like that. And then if you go down here, I'll block this middle part, but maybe there's an item you can collect. So I'll maybe, once you run past here, I'll maybe put a camera like that maybe. So just as you walk in here, there might be like an item sitting there on the floor, or there's some boxes here and it's on top of the box, something like that. And it'll be good because then you can at least see the light coming through the windows as well. So I think that will be quite good. See, I think once you put, I think it's that these floor tiles on a regular PS4, I don't know about a Pro, but when you rewind, sometimes it sticks and you can't actually move the camera anymore. So basically don't reset your imp because it will destroy the scene. I got to go now. Oh, that's surprising for you, but yeah, you've got school tomorrow, don't you? So you better get some sleep. I'm going to end the stream soon anyway, because I'm going to have to get back to work. I'm just going to try and finalise this a little bit first. Still a few things I'll need to do around the wall to add some detail. I don't think this is going to work. Because of the floors, everything's a bit struggling a little bit. If it doesn't play, I'll try and save, but this might crash. If this crashes, I'm ending the stream anyway, so God. Right, I think it went into play mode. I think we're good. It's raining, clearly, because we've got no roof. Sometimes the cameras don't trigger automatically. I think if you point them downwards, they don't work properly. So this one worked. It managed to capture the player a little bit. I think oh, these doors open automatically. I did not know that. If you were down here, this camera would have been activated as well. So it'll look good once I get all the logic to properly put the camera placements in and stuff. We'll actually import our own character, Lisa, so we'll be able to get a better idea of things. So this section here, I'm going to fill it with something like supplies or empty supplies, you know, just they basically used this cafeteria to stockpile. So I'm going to put a lot of stuff here, so you're not really going to get through there. The only other place you're going to get to the windows. Someone smashed all the windows. So you're going to come to about here. Maybe there's like some barricades here, so you can only go halfway down this little path here to collect something. So I'm going to have to rewind here, which is going to take a while because of the floor. Tell John, Jerry, Steve I said gla gla gla. Oh, he knows. John, Jerry, Steve knows. He knows everything. So hopefully once this scene reloads, I'm definitely going to have to optimize this floor, because this floor is what's causing most of the problems. Once you start using stuff with high detail in Dreams, whenever you go to rewind, it stutters a little bit, which is not ideal. So one final thing I'll do is I'll test and I'll see if I'll make a really crappy thing right now, right? I'm going to see if I can put not it's like decorative railings across the wall, right? So let me just see if it looks good first, because if it doesn't, then I'm obviously not going to use it. Okay. So I think it was like a brown kind of colour. Let me see. It's harder to get it brown, isn't it? Right, I'll just leave it like that for now, right? This is just an idea. If I could put it like across the wall like this. You know, some hospitals, they have this kind of thing. God knows why, but I guess it makes it look a bit prettier. So I don't want to put it too high, I don't want to put it too low. So you get the idea, something like that. I could probably make it a bit thinner as well. Maybe not thinner, but not as tall. Okay. So if you could probably imagine seeing something like that in a hospital, and at least it distracts you from the plain wall. It gives you a little bit of something else to look at. Still need to update these doors. We'll get Schemes doors, which I'll probably change. Let's see. I can probably change them right now, actually. I need to search for Schemes profile. So here we go, Schemes. Great at making optimized assets. So here he's made some doors. He made a bunch of hospital assets. I think he's also made an X-ray skull, which looks quite cool. I could probably use that as well. For the door, I think all these doors were in here. I don't know if I can import this because my scene is quite heavy already. Seems to be loading in. So these are all his assets. I just wanted to go in and steal a door, right? Literally a double door. That's all I wanted. Thank you. So I'll put this door down. I can replace that other door because that other door is pretty trashy. And this one looks a lot better. So I'll probably put this one down. Replace this one. There we go. Definitely looks a lot better. And obviously I'll delete these parts so that you don't see them. But that looks alright so far. That looks alright. It's definitely more detailed than it was before. So some things I need to add. I need to obviously fix the windows. I'll need to decide if I'm going to put some text here to advertise the cafeteria. Make proper menu signs. Fill up some of this area with some extra boxes and things like that, and then block off this little part here so you can't pass through. Hey Scheme, I feel like I just summoned you because literally just as I went to get your door, you appeared. I think this door was your summoning. Where are we, LB? We're inside the hospital cafeteria. One thing I was going to say to you, Hal Schmooman, he recommended these tiles from the Media Molecules VR kit. Unfortunately, they're not very optimized, so I had to make them bigger because it wouldn't let me copy too many of them. But I'm noticing a problem. Whenever I go to rewind the scene, there's like a little loading symbol here and it freezes the game. It takes a long time to load, and I believe it's these tiles. So I don't know if there's a better way to optimize them, because obviously when I'm copying them so many times, the game starts to, you know, fall on its arse. So if I rewind this scene, it's going to stick, and it's these floors that are doing it. So I don't know if there's a better way to optimize them. But other than that, everything's been okay. Just try to figure out what's going to go on the walls and stuff like that. So I kind of figured some things out, not everything, but just try to throw down some ideas, get some of the colour schemes going. Before we had it was white walls we were using. So here's my big cubes, right? We were using white walls like this, but I felt like it was a bit too much like a prison. So I tried to make it a bit more lively with the colours and make the walls a bit nicer to look at. Never mind, you answered straight away. Oh, good. I'll have a look at them and see what could be done. Yeah, I'll show you what they were. They were the ones that were inside the box. Let me show you here, it's probably easier. What am I doing? In here. No. Where are they? It's this one. Media Molecules tiled concrete. If I duplicated too many of these, the gameplay was so high, so I had to enlarge them so that when I copied them, I wasn't doing as many copies. But now when I rewind, it's quite heavy, and even though the thermal's okay, but I think it's just because there's too many of them in the scene. I don't know if it's the frame rate or the processor can't handle it. God knows, but it's struggling. And then on the walls, I basically just used the smooth concrete, changed the colour a little bit. But I believe it's these that are doing the most damage here. I wasn't sure, like, so like they've got like different sides, right? And since I'm only using one side, I thought maybe if I go in and actually delete everything else and just keep the top part, maybe that would make it a bit better, but I wasn't sure the answer to that. So I don't know if you'll have more insights. Before I go, Scheme, you need to suffer the consequences for being heavily late. This is basically like we're coming to the end of the stream now, so I think you came here the perfect timing just to get your leg. Strange, approximately how many in your scene? Quite a lot, to be honest. So that's one, right? So how many did we do in a row? So we did, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 8 times 8. 60, what? Something. 68. So it's a lot. It is a lot. And this is when I enlarged it, because originally I was using this size of cube. So I was using like a cube this size and I was duplicating it, but I only got to about here, and then it said too much memory, you can't duplicate anymore. So that's why I enlarged these, like 4 times the size basically. And it helped a lot, but I mean it's not a big deal. It's just when I rewind, I need to wait about 20 seconds before I can do anything, which is annoying, but it doesn't affect gameplay. It just affects the rewind, but obviously I would prefer not to have this problem. No, absolutely not. Yeah, I'd trim it down and make it thin. Yeah, I think that's, if it works. I wasn't sure if it would work, because if you delete stuff, I wasn't sure if it still kept the data around it, even though it wasn't visible. But if it works, then I'll definitely do that, and hopefully I can optimize it a little bit better. But yeah, I've got the camera angles in now, so I'm just going to do another save here, just in case. I don't remember if I saved it or not. Better safe than sorry. So that's quite good then. So at least we got the cafeteria kind of done. It's a big area, so it requires a lot more work. But I'm still going to do a third draft before it's finalised. But it looks a lot better than it was before. So I think tomorrow we'll probably do the kitchen through here. This is not the kitchen. It just, funny enough, looked a bit like a kitchen, but it's not. So we'll do the kitchen, maybe the freezer as well, because I don't think the freezer will take us that long to do, since it is more basic. And I guess I could do the conference room as well, because if we look at the conference room, hold on, ta-da! See, it looks a wee bit better. If we do the conference room, we already made the conference room when we were doing the level design. We already kind of did like a basic layout for it. So here, see, we've already did a floor and stuff like that, so we just need to do walls and tidy it up a little bit, put some camera angles in. Here's the kitchen. Again, we'll need to do the floor, the walls. This one requires a bit more work. We have some tiles here, which I probably kept to do the walls at some point. So tomorrow we'll probably do the kitchen, and I don't know where exactly the freezer is, because sometimes, I don't know if you've noticed, but the scenes, they go in a weird order. Here's the freezer here, so again, just walls and floors, pretty simple. It's a freezer. It's going to be really foggy as well, so I'm not too worried about the detail on this one. So we'll do the kitchen, we'll do the freezer tomorrow, if we've got time to do both. And then if I update the conference room, great. It means that the second hospital building is almost done. We just need to do some of the corridors and things like that, and then it's good to go. In that huge open world demo I made, I had a crap ton of those land cubes pasted into the scene. I have a feeling it's not just those floor tiles that's causing the freezing. Yeah, I mean, I could do a test, I suppose, to see exactly where the game's choking. But the game's kind of fine when it runs. It's just when you rewind, only when you rewind, that it's causing problems. Like to go through the scene, there's no frame rate problems or anything. It's just to rewind. No idea why. What time are you streaming tomorrow? I've been going to bed super early lately. Oh, that's not good. That's very strange for you. I think John J. Steve's taking his toll on you. You're getting so exhausted now. Well, it depends on what happens. Ideally, I do like to start streaming about between any time between 6:30 and 7 PM UK time. Sometimes it's a little bit later, just depends what's going on, like 7:30. But anywhere between 6:30 and 7:30, I'll start the stream, and we'll probably stream for a good couple of hours. So hopefully I'll get a couple more of these scenes done, and we'll have the hospital second draft almost complete for next week, I think. But the demo's coming along quite well. The inventory's almost finished. I'm going to redo the graphics on the character, and then I just have to implement the combat and a few little tweaks here and there. Then I think the demo should be ready in 3 weeks' time. The public demo, 3 weeks to go. So I'm excited for it. Nervous, but hopefully people like it. I know, right? I'll get back to my usual night owl routine soon. Is there any reason why that you got up early? You can probably answer me next time, to be honest, because I need to go back to work now, unfortunately. So take care. Thanks for tuning in. Probably wondering where Hal Schmuman went. He starts school tomorrow, so he's probably going to leave the streams a bit earlier than normal to go sleep. But yeah, thanks everyone who tuned in. I'm going to go back to work now, so yeah, tomorrow we'll pick this up again. We'll do the kitchen, we'll do the freezer. If we've got time, we'll do the conference room as well. These are a bit smaller compared to the scene we did today, so it shouldn't be as bad. Sounds good. Really looking forward to it, bud. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see some of you guys again tomorrow. We'll do some more work on the scenes. Alright, take care, enjoy your night, and I'll see you then. Bye!